Sorry about that, babe.
What's up, guys? It's Cody aka the Bear here with Bits and Glory, and we're back with the Bits Blurbs series. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Figured it'd be a good thing to start the new year off with, so here we go. This video is going to be the top 5 RPGs that I want to get to in 2024, and what do I mean by that? I mean most likely live streaming and covering them, unboxing if I can, as well as reviews, but it could also be, quote, offline content, which would just basically mean non-stream, but you'd be able to watch the videos on my YouTube channel. But before I begin with my actual top 5, I wanted to kind of go over some of the extras that I look to get forward to this year as well. First off, I do want to continue my From Software challenge runs. I have some more Dark Souls 1 challenge runs in mind. Obviously, in the past year, we've done Soul Level 1 no-hit segmented, Armor of Thorns only, Pyromancy only, Sorcery only, Miracles only. I have some other tricks up my sleeve for Dark Souls 1, but I do kind of want to branch out a little bit further. We also did Demon Souls Soul Level 1 as well, which is a members only video. I do want to get back to Soul Level 1 possibly for Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3. I haven't done those in a long time. Blood Level 4 for Bloodborne, same thing, probably been about 5 or 6 years for that. So on and so forth. So for the FromSoft fans of the channel, there still will be content coming up from that. I just kind of have to figure out how I'm going to disperse that, but definitely if you're interested in that content, there will be stuff, so stay tuned. I also would like to dip my feet back into the world of ROM hacks / improvements. Last year, off the top of my head, we did Breath of Fire Definitive Edition, Phantasy Star 35th Anniversary Edition, so on and so forth. One of the ones that I've had my eye on for quite some time is Final Fantasy IV Ultima. I've played the Naming Way Edition, which in my opinion is pretty good. It's basically like the perfect way to play the game in my opinion. But Final Fantasy IV Ultima brings forth many changes, which is the reason why I didn't play it first off, because I was sort of looking for that kind of enhanced authentic experience, so to speak. The only thing that's got me a little bit concerned about games like Final Fantasy IV Ultima is apparently some of the bosses are insane. More or less it's oh, if you're not at this level, you're gonna get slapped around, or you better do a bunch of DPS right away, otherwise you're gonna get insta-killed. Not a huge fan of those types of things, but overall I've heard really good things about the hack, so that's one that I definitely want to get to. There's a couple other as well, but I don't want to kind of put myself out there and shoehorn myself into having to do them for you guys. And since my late 2023 return to streaming, I've actually kind of calmed down my offline content. And again, what I mean by offline is not streaming. I do want to fix that. I'm going to do some more content like that to kind of keep things flowing. Because, for example, right now we're currently in the middle of my Breath of Fire 2 first ever playthrough stream. Other than the streams themselves, there's basically no content. Yeah, sure, I've made a few shorts here and there, but usually I have a lot of content in the chamber, so to speak. So I kind of want to get back to that. Probably won't start until we're done with Breath of Fire 2, though, just so I can kind of concentrate a little bit more. Some ideas that I have there, for example, would be Harvest Moon on the SNES. Kind of like a casual thing that I could just kind of do, like in the mornings before work. You know, no pressure, really. Stuff that I really wouldn't really want to live stream, I guess. Another example might be something like SimCity. So I would just say, if you're a fan of not being there for the live streams and you don't like watching the VODs of live streams, I am going to get back to some strict, just like me talking to the microphone / camera type of content. Obviously while playing games, of course, but yeah, we'll get to that soon. Alright, so with all that being said, guys, let's get back to the main reason why I'm making this video in the first place. The top 5 RPGs that I want to get to in 2024. Now, basically these RPGs I either haven't played before at all, I've played a little and never beat it, or some of them, I think they might be on the list if I remember correctly, I've beaten, but it's been years and it's part of like a larger picture, so to speak. So the first one, piggybacking off of that, would be Shining Force 3, Scenarios 2 and 3. Now, I played through Shining Force 3 Scenario 1. It's already been like 2 years ago already. So I would like to play through all 3 scenarios. I haven't touched Scenario 2 or 3 whatsoever. And like I said, 1 was done quite a while ago. And I know it's going to be pretty time intensive. 1 was pretty time intensive, just to keep repeating myself. But I do plan on live streaming those. I know there's a lot of people that have joined my channel from various Shining Force videos. I know there's been a bunch of people that want to see me play Scenario 2 and 3, so I do plan on getting to that at some point in 2024. Don't know when. Don't lock me into any time frames for any of these, but I do want to get to them before the end of the year. Very much looking forward to playing Scenario 2 and 3. I've heard nothing but good things about the whole package, and obviously I did enjoy Scenario 1. The next one is Dragon Warrior 3 on the NES. I've not played this game in any capacity other than literally firing up a cartridge to make sure that it works. But going along with what I said earlier, I will be replaying through Dragon Warrior 1, even though I did just do it recently. Pretty quick game. I have a couple improvement hacks that I want to do. Figured I can kind of rip through that. And before we get to 3, I want to revisit Dragon Warrior 2, the reason being, well, we played it last, I think, in 2020 on Twitch, and I didn't cover it. I ended up not doing an unboxing, I didn't do a review, I didn't do any shorts, so I really want to revisit that game, replay it. I think it would be a fun game to play on stream, despite the whole path to Roan, all that kind of stuff where the game gets very difficulty spiky out of nowhere. I will hopefully plan appropriately with some prior knowledge of the game, despite it being a few years ago. And you guys know, I don't retain knowledge for a lot of games. If I take years off in between playthroughs, I'll forget a lot of stuff. So it'll feel pretty fresh. And then ultimately, our final goal is to get the Dragon Warrior 3. And depending on how, into it I get, maybe we'll roll right into 4 as well. But 3 is definitely on the list for this year. Okay, so this next one's a bit of a meme. It's reached, I guess, legendary meme standards on the internet at this point. A game that I played through a bit as a kid because I rented it, and I remember enjoying it despite, again, my kind of wishy-washy knowledge at this point being so long ago. It being a bit of a rudimentary game, repetitive, not the best. That's Quest 64. You guys know that I'm not a huge N64 fan. Part of the reason that I'm not is because there's, quite frankly, not that many RPGs on the console, and RPGs are my favorite genre. But I do remember fondly, and don't I have a Quest 64 poster somewhere? Yeah, there it is, right there. There you go. I do remember fondly my weekend of renting it, and I played for probably like 4 or 5 hours, maybe, something like that. I never used to play long sessions as a kid. It was always like in little chunks of time. But I think it would be fun to cover for the channel and kind of break the ice with N64 coverage. Next up is another childhood game that I played, never beat, and that's Robotrek, aka Slapstick on the Super Nintendo. I mean, I've put it in videos in the past. I think it's incredibly underrated. Again, from what I remember, I think I played for like 6 to 8 hours or something as a kid. Never beat it. I mean, how could you go wrong? It's Quintet, Enix, Super Nintendo, and Pokemon style-like gameplay. It's definitely one that's been kind of eluding me for years. For some reason, I just never really officially sat down to beat it and cover it, and I'd really, really love to do so. Especially since we've been kind of revisiting and covering stuff like ActRaiser, Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma. It seems only right, So, very excited to get to that here in 2024 as well. And the last one on my list is 7th Saga on the Super Nintendo. Now, this is a much, I don't want to say maligned, but it has a reputation of being one of, if not the hardest RPG of all time. I know that there's some interesting mechanics that go into the game. I know there's a bunch of characters you could choose from. I also heard that you could more or less make the game very difficult for yourself and possibly soft block yourself. Don't know that for sure, based off of the character and the paths that you take throughout the game. But I do hope to get to that this year. I think the challenge will be fun. Yes, I will be live streaming it. Yes, I will be failing. Yes, I will be raging. I do have a funny memory of 7th Saga, actually. When my mom owned a flower shop back in the day, there was a video store in the same plaza. That's actually where I first got ActRaiser, Addams Family, and a couple of my favorite SNES games. And I remember specifically renting the 7th Saga. I couldn't have been more than 6 years old or something at the time, maybe 7. And I remember I popped it in, and I just had no idea what was going on. I just knew that there was a ton of dialogue. I was completely lost. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this game definitely seems really interesting. If only I knew what I was doing. Well, I guess it's debatable if I know what I'm doing nowadays as well, but I know a little bit more than back then. So I really do hope to get to that as well at some point here in 2024. Obviously, that's not all we're going to get to on the channel, but those are the games that I'm kind of highlighting. I have a 12-month leeway here, basically. So hopefully we can get to everything that I discussed, obviously, as well as others. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if you're looking forward to any of these games being covered by me as well. And let me know if there's any games that you're looking forward to getting to finally in 2024, whether it be old and new. Obviously, my channel is centered around retro gaming and From Software, but I still do play some new games here and there, which reminds me maybe a game like Lies of P will be something that I'd want to play. Don't know if I'll cover it for the channel, but in my personal life, I do plan on getting to it. So anyways, guys, if you've enjoyed the video here, I was about to say review because I'm so used to saying that, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll do my best to kind of stay up with a few more of these videos because I do know that some people will enjoy them. Take care and have a good 2024.